Welcome to my next video, which is looking at Strombidae, and we'll start with the Lambis complex. And here we have Cricata. From the specimens there are from Fiji, Kenya, India, Philippines, and there's an Australian one there as well. Scorpius from a wide range of locations. Scorpius in the middle there with Lambis on either side, both from Queensland. Then we've got there Violacea from Mauritius, a very popular shell. Millipedia from a wide range of locations, a particularly beautiful one there. Robusta from Tahiti, another Lambis. We've got Adami there, Adami. It's like a little miniature dwarf Lambis. There's about 3 in there. And there's another one there. Again, Lambis. Chiagra. The locations for those Chiagras are Ceylon, Western Australia, East New Britain, and Papua New Guinea. That beautiful large specimen from Western Australia. A lovely specimen of wheelwright eye there. A digitata from Mozambique and Zanzibar. And I'm just trying to remember what I've pointed out. I think that covers all the species there. There's some more large Lambis there, all from Fiji. I've got many other Lambis from all sorts of locations. There's a common shell to find washed up on beaches. And if it's a nice colourful specimen, I never hesitate to pick it up. I've probably got another 20 that have all been dead collected, sitting in my display cabinets. There's Truncata from Fiji. It's just over 30 centimetres. And next to that is a beautiful specimen of Goliath from Brazil. Not a Lambis shell, of course, but Strombus Goliath. And it's got its operculum in there, just over 33 centimetres. Now in this next drawer, wide variety of Strombus. I'll begin with the well-known American Strombus down there. We're looking at Elatis, Pagillus, and Gracilia. Beautiful colours in the interior. I believe that's quite an uncommon one, the purple with the white edge. You've got some purples with orange edges there. Orange, goldy colour. Beautiful shells. Every one is different. There we have some Gracilia. Sinuatus, there's quite a few here. They range from Philippines to Papua New Guinea. Tricornis. Latissimus. There's a juvenile and a not so good specimen of Strombus gigas. Listeri, beautiful shell that. There we have a specimen of, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes, Costatus. Next to that we have Gallus, followed by Reninus. Specimen there of Lattice, Peruvianus. I've always loved that particular shell. Beautiful interior and that lovely flared lip. There's a lovely specimen of Old Eye from Somalia. It was very difficult to come by years ago, not so difficult to obtain today. And Taurus, a very popular shell for obvious reasons, from Marshall Islands. There we have some Lentiginosus, a variety of locations. Most of those are from Australia, Queensland. And there's another Costatus a smaller one than the one we saw earlier. I'm not sure if I mentioned the CITES from New Caledonia. All right, that's the selection of shells in that drawer. Now, in most cases in this drawer, we have smaller sized shells, although having said that, there's some particularly large ones for the species. I'll point a couple out. That beautiful one amongst the Canariums and the Terrabellums. That beautiful one is 110 millimeters, and a lovely variety of locations there for those shells. India, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines. This group, I got them all together because they all seem to be fairly similar in shapes, but from very different locations. A very well-known one in Australia, Luanis, and you get those. I have found those right along the Queensland and New South Wales coast, even going down as far as Cronulla in New South Wales, and you can find them quite abundantly there. All right, we have more groups here. We've got amongst this little group here, we have specimens of, and again I'm looking at my notes, Terrabellatus fragilis and dentata. Lovely shells there. Gibberellus primarily in that drawer, with the exception of that one there. Dilatus, I think, or variabilis. Anyway, that's from Carnarvon. Lovely shell, that. Gibberellus in lots of different locations. Lovely albino form there from the Red Sea. And lovely, very large form there from Tanzania. The others are from Queensland and Fiji. Fiji, a very abundant shell. Very abundant. Here we have a nice specimen of, Clecame, and also known subspecies as Baholoensis for the Philippine species. A lovely little one there, Pippus. I've always loved that shell. Beautiful shell, that. Couple of the lovely one there from Nhulunbuy in the Northern Territory. And there's some more from Nhulunbuy. And the ones next to it are from Thailand. And in the center here we have some lovely species, including Voma, Aratrum, Oristiana, Bulla. And the largest specimens I have here is from Swain's Reef, and that largest specimen there is over 10 centimeters. Beautiful shell, that. Yes, I've always been fond. Most of those shells actually are from Australia, with just a few exceptions. And this tray is demonstrating in particular the variety that we can find within the same species. So if we have a look, we'll start here. Specimens of Campbelli and Vittatus. All of those are from Darwin beaches. I've seen a few people argue over whether that's one species or two. I think it's two distinct species there. I think Vittatus is very clear. The markings the less bold nodules, etc. And then we've got definitely Campbelli there. Campbelli can range quite a bit from state to state. I think you can almost tell a Campbelli from Western Australia compared to one from the Northern Territory. There's some more there. Those Campbelli are from Queensland. There's a local shell, a Seashell. Terrabellum. They're all from Darwin beaches. Then a variety of Terrabellum from other locations. Lovely large ones there. Here we have, and I've got to look at the Epidramis, sorry. They're all from Northern Territory, Western Australia and Queensland. The only one I've got with colour in it is that one, which is from Queensland. The others are all from WA and Northern Territory. I'm not suggesting that we only have white specimens. I'm sure there's colourful ones with patterns to be found as well, but that's all I've collected. And a lovely Vitatis there from Thailand. Some other Campbelli related shells. I'm just looking at the name here. Vitatis antropi from Philippines. So lots of subspecies in relation to the Campbelli shells. And then the other ones here, lots of colour forms of Oseus, Erythrymnum, Mutabilis. So some particularly lovely colour forms there. Those multiple ones are all from the Philippines. And then the other ones in plastic containers I've collected from various locations over the years. So I think I've covered everything in that drawer. And now to finish, we're going to look at some families related to Strombidae. If you look at Jerry Wall's book from many years ago, he, in his book of Strombidae and Harps, he included these families with the Strombidaes. I'm not quite sure where the literature places them today, but we have the Tibias, which I think are still in the Strombidae group. Then we have the Struthiolarias, group down here, mainly from New Zealand and Australia, known as the ostrich foot shells. And then we have the Aporrhais shells, mainly from Europe and Africa, and they are known as the pelican shells. So just have a look at some of the less known species. There's that lovely one, like Fusus fusus, but there's its name there, and you can tell looking at the shell that it is indeed different to Fusus fusus. My largest Fusus fusus there is about 24 centimetres. There's a particularly rare shell from Northern Australia, Lorenzi. Very fortunate to have those specimens from a trawler. And then we've got the Struthiolarias, and the literature indicates, well, perhaps as few as 5 species, but interestingly, if you look at a species from New Zealand like Vermis, lots of subspecies. For instance, there's Vermis flemingi there, there's Vermis vermis, and there's Vermis tricarinata, and possibly even other subspecies. And there's the well-known one there, Papulosa, and I think they're just some juvenile papilloses. And there's the local Australian one, Scuttulata, some southern Australia. You won't find that in northern Australia, but a range of placed Gibbon Beach near Cronulla, Giroa. I found a couple of specimens, and then that's another one from southern New South Wales. So, thank you.